chat one time.
All right, well, we are live. We are live, good friend.
Oh, we're live. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're like a minute early. So we'll let this kind of move on in for about a minute.
Well, it's
hoping.
Good to be early for once.
Yeah, it's nice to be early. We are early by a couple seconds. There it goes. All right. It's 8 p.m. Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. Do you know where your children are?
Some TikTok individuals don't.
Yeah, no, apparently not. My name is Darren Silvers, your friendly neighborhood sweat peddler from HentaiCake.com. And as always, as it is Tuesday night, I'm here with my co-host, Jeff.
Hi, I'm Shep from Winning War and Pants, and we got a lot of news tonight.
You look more tired than I do. And
I woke up from a nap like 15 minutes ago.
I find this amusing because I was sent home because I was working too much, and you're the one who's dead.
It was a long day at work.
I believe it. I think I spent today getting in some hours on Tales of Vesperia just so I could unwind and not think about life. And then I went, oh, this is lovely. This is a lovely romantic scene. Nope, and depressed. Oof, indeed. It's all right. It's still not nearly as depressing as the end of Vesperia.
I'm nearing the end of that.
Are you sure? Because I swear I reached the end of that thing 3 times before it finally ended.
To be fair, it's a Tales game, and last time I played, when I first played a Tales game, I thought I hit the final boss, and I'm just like, wait a minute, this is disc 1 still. There's 2 discs. What is it? What are you doing, Tales?
What are you doing to me, Tales?
That was Symphonia on the GameCube, and I was like, Tales just does this, and just like, oh, this is the end. No, it's not. And it's easier for him to get away with it because it's a digital game.
It's easier now for them because Vesperia was still only 1 disc on the PS4. So I was like, man, I'm already done. It's only been like 18 hours. I can't believe I'm done. Nope. Never mind. We're still going. All right.
Don't tell me that don't tell me that I'm grinding and I'm only 21 hours in.
Don't worry, it's only like a 28-hour game. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right.
I want to get this game done before I go to law school. Damn it.
You probably will. All right, we got ourselves a sad opening, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Ed Asner died recently. Ed Asner, if you do not know, film and voice actor with years upon years of just great work overall. Originally on tons of stuff from the 1950s and 60s. Those of us who know him from our generation tend to know him as a voice actor for a lot of various cartoons, including The Old Man from Up. And if you really pay attention, he's also the cranky old elf from the movie Elf, which is a Christmas classic now.
It makes me feel old. That's a Christmas classic.
Well, what do you want from me, man? I don't make these decisions.
But
at least something new was added to Christmas time. Yeah, don't get me started on Tim Pool crying about Christmas.
Right. Fun fact, separate from this story. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and The Year Without a Santa Claus are anime.
Yep, technically. So this is why it ends up with our anime news. So very sad to see Ed Asner die. How old was he? God damn.
91 yeah.
91 years old. Very long
he was
time.
Also in he also played J. Jonah Jameson in the 94 Spider-Man series. Playing N. Onceler in the Boondocks. It was all very prolific.
He like I said, he just kept going. This man was an absolute workhorse. It's sad to see him go, and I hope that we all remember his ongoing contribution to our own entertainment and happiness. Goodbye, Ed Asner. Godspeed.
Rest in peace, dude.
What else? Do we have anything funny, or at least good, to start off after that depressing introduction of news?
Well, anime weebs sold this out within hours.
No, the Evangelion collection.
Yes. Unfortunately, I was one of the ones who bought it.
Well, I expected you to buy 3, but
well, I only bought the Ultimate Edition, so, which was $300 fucking dollars.
Well, this is how Ono keeps his lifestyle. He makes one movie every couple years and sells it back to you for the next 10.
What? So that version and the collector's version have the old ADV dub.
Oh, nice.
However, there's only a limited amount of the collector's edition as well. The new version doesn't have the ADV dub, and none of them have Fly Me to the Moon.
Oh,
which means the ADV Platinum release still will retain value.
Look at that. So for those of you who are collectors of the original ADV Platinum release, you will still have Fly Me to the Moon. Does that mean the little music box I have that does Fly Me to the Moon is worth money?
Yes.
Nice. Look at that. The $3 thing I got from a pachinko machine. Go me. Thanks, Japan. All right. What else do we got?
Tomino says he's got about 3 years left working in anime.
So this is sad. Tomino is let me pull up the article because I know he's
suffering from spinal canal stenosis, which makes it hard for him to move around.
Yeah, and I know he's also one of the longer running Gundam directors.
Well, Gundam was created by him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's also prolific outside it. There's a reason, like, it wasn't just Gundam, but a bunch of other mech series he did. There's a reason they call him Kill 'Em All Tomino. Oh, you think this is Happy Mech Show? Everyone's dying.
Everyone's dying. Now, he was not in any way, shape, or form. He had no participation in the Hathaway film, which was very, very good. A very, very good film. But he is unfortunately he's ailing in health. This is a very common thing, and I don't know why they mentioned he's COVID-19 vaccinated in this article. I don't know why that matters.
I don't know why. It's Anime News Network.
What, you're right. You are correct, sir. I probably should have figured that out. Now, he has been asked multiple times about what's going on in the Gundam universe, and while he was not part of the Hathaway films, I think he was part of Reconquista. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it says he was busy with that.
Yeah, there it is. And so that might be one of the last few things we will get from him. He is again one of the most prolific Gundam directors. He is the original. He is the OG.
Yes.
All right. So he has been asked multiple times about Gundam live action Hollywood adaptations, and he understands that he has no general care about that.
Yeah, he pretty much says, I don't really care, but I want to direct it myself.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Well, I know there was a Gundam live action thing at some point in time, and it was hilariously bad. I loved it because it was so back in the age of VHS.
Oh boy.
But I don't know. I don't think he had anything to do with that.
There's a lot of Gundam that he has nothing to do with.
Mm-hmm.
Probably for good reasons.
Yep, and the one thing he said is that while he is still alive, he plans to crush both Demon Slayer and Evangelion, and will put Gundam back on top before he goes. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna pull off to make that happen, because Demon Slayer is crushing it in the anime industry right now. Yeah. Evangelion is, of course, that ongoing nostalgic thing that I wish would go away, but keeps coming back.
Excuse me.
Just let it die, James. Just let it die. My girl won. My girl won at the
She
end.
didn't even exist when it came out in '94.
I even said, I bet you Shinji married some girl we haven't even seen before back in I was correct.
What's most frustrating was there was already a better option than Mari. It was Mana, but
nope.
Anna forgot that Mana Kirishima existed, like the rest of the anime fandom.
There was no better option than Mary, and you know why? Because no one saw it coming. That's why. Anna was just like, random girl I just made, you're the winner. And I saw it come up like a mile away. Everyone called me crazy back in '94. But you know what? 17 years later, I'm still
in '94.
It didn't matter. I said it's gonna be some random girl we've never even heard of, and you know what? There she was. There she was.
So when Ava 1.0 came out in 2007,
was it that long ago?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Were you still in the sandbox back then?
Yes. No. 2007. I was back from the sandbox, and I was in a bad place, and watching Evangelion while on mental meds did not make things better. Neither did watching Big O or Little Busters.
It sounds like we tried to jump. It sounds like we tried to jump off of things at the same time.
Listen, all I'm saying is I kept finding anime that would make me question reality while taking drugs that was making me question reality, and I'm like, I'm not okay with this right now. Am I alive? Is this life? Is this death? Am I dead? Am I alive? Is this purgatory?
Does the bus run through here?
What was that one about the dystopian world, and you had that really that severe goth chick and that guy who turned into a monster that everyone was trying to hunt down.
Was that Triple X Holic?
No, that wasn't. It was not Triple X Holic. It was set in some like futuristic world, and this girl who looked like a goth princess was like an investigator and was looking for this guy. And I can't remember what the heck the name of that damn anime was. It's gonna drive me up the wall, and I'll end up like texting it to you in the middle of the night.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
stop talking about depression.
Yes, let's.
By the way, speaking of depression, Tomino did. Oh God damn it! I'm blanking on it. Space Runaway Ideon.
Okay.
Which is brilliant, and if you're watching, you'll be like, oh, this is where like 90% of Evangelion comes from. If you strip away the psychology and the Christianity. Anyways,
moving on.
Speaking of Gundam, Funimation is streaming Wing, Gundam Narrative, Zeta Gundam, and the original Gundam.
Which is great news overall. As long as they don't mess with it, they really shouldn't mess with it.
It's too old to mess with, but
yeah, essentially. But hey, I get a lot of like old Toonami shows back, which is great. Excuse me. I'm actually looking forward to that. How about you?
I actually am too. I have a confession.
What?
I've never seen Gundam Wing.
You've never watched Gundam Wing?
I barely missed it when it stopped airing on Toonami. And then I watched Full Metal Panic, and then I tried to watch Gundam Wing, and I was like, this is just Full Metal Panic.
No, it's completely different.
And then I watched Gundam 00, which is a reboot of Gundam Wing.
Yes, but anyway, Ergo Proxy was the name of that anime I was
Ergo Proxy.
Yes. It was about the robots getting souls or something, and that didn't help. That did not help my mental state. I was like, I really enjoyed this show. Oh God. Moving on.
Moving slightly out of anime news.
I mean, it's not really out of anime news. It's part of anime news.
Cowboy Bebop creator Shinichiro Watanabe, unsure if Netflix will listen to his feedback on live action adaptation.
The answer is no. No, they did not. No. Like, after looking at a lot of the preview stills and all of the other stuff, and then what is up with these actresses and actors slamming down the original fan base of things? I don't get why they keep doing this.
This is the people who are gonna watch your shit. Stop trashing
you-
the people who are gonna watch your shit, man.
If you do that, you're gonna end up with a lot of problems. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's very obnoxious. It's very annoying.
Yeah, just like, and it's like they don't like. It's frustrating because as a creator, like when I create something, especially if I'm like doing something in homage to something or something like that, I want the fans of the original to like it.
I want them to at least acknowledge
Acknowledge it.
Acknowledge its good points and its bad points. No one who was a huge fan of the original trilogy was a huge fan of prequels. I watched them and I said, didn't like the first one, it was okay. Second one, yeah, better than the first one. Not a huge fan. Third one, meh. Like I really don't remember much of the third one at all. It had so little impact.
We knew what was going to happen in the third one anyway, and it was just a slog. There was some good action at the beginning, and then you got the light, and then towards the end you get the lightsaber fight, and yeah, lots of politics that was boring.
Yeah,
not real life politics, but in universe politics.
In universe politics.
They had to get across so that they could set up Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
not Return of the and A New Hope and the original trilogy. It's like it was necessary, wasn't it? It wasn't a great ending to a trilogy, but it was necessary to get to the new trilogy. To get to the original trilogy.
And the reasoning behind Anakin's betrayal, I was not a huge fan of. I think I wrote like several fan fictions of how I thought it would go, and none of them were correct. I was like, oh, because he's told his girlfriend will die or his wife is going to die, but she's alive at the end of the film. Bleh. Moving on. Anyway, no, let's talk about Cowboy Bebop. So anyway, Cowboy Bebop live action, I'm not a huge fan of. I believe I screamed at you because why is Spike having a 1911?
Don't know. One thing I'm going to say about these live actions is like I don't know whether they're trying to do them on a low budget, and like it's like they're either trying to do them on a low budget, and they're just pulling cheap, like, okay, we have a bunch of these out of the armory for all the gunplay scenes, or they give so little shit that they're not doing enough research on the character.
Yeah, I mean, some people complained about Faye Valentine's outfit, and I went, whatever, fine. I could complain about it, but it's not a huge deal for me.
I mean, with that, it's like it's not a huge deal for me. I get why people are ticked because Faye Valentine's character is femme fatale.
She uses her sex appeal and her general looks to make men unaware, and then she blindsides them. That's kind of her entire character.
Yeah, so you kind of expect someone to look the part,
or at least the outfit to be a little bit similar.
Yeah. But I'm not too worried about that. Stuff will get lost in translation from animation to live action.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's just so much stuff going wrong with this, and I'm like,
I'm not even gonna bother trying to watch it because there's just so much drama involved, and it's not even out yet. Much like how Ghostbusters turned me off before it even came out, this has already turned me off.
Yeah,
I have zero care.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, what's next on the docket? Oh, I know what's next on the docket. The other thing I bitched him and moaned about. This guy also fucked up the guts. Why does Leon have a 1911? Have H2K V70. I know Leon's gone very well.
The crowd space magic with the freaking on trigger guard release.
First of all,
hate it.
that
I
on
hate it.
Trigger Guard
I
release
hate
is how he kung fu's all of his magazines. Have you seen any of the CGI
Yes.
generated freaking
Yes.
Leon movies?
The trigger release needs to be like right on the thumb where God and his prophet John Moses Browning intended it.
Yes, but this is a Japanese game, and the Japanese don't believe in your God. So, Buddha decrees Trigger Guard.
God, I remember like I was last time I went pistol shooting with my buddy Neil, I almost got kicked off the range because I tried shooting his HKVP9 and I just like just started screaming at him, "What the fuck is this shit? How do I drop magazine?"
All right, so the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City movie, which
Delayed
is supposed to
to November 24th.
it has been delayed till November 24th. It's supposed to come out September 3rd. They released some stills and some preview video in this overall thing, and I have a few problems with the characters of Jill and Claire, and it has nothing to do with how the actresses are and how they're not, how they're like, oh, they're not pretty enough for you. No, that's not my problem. The problem is Jill should have on the Stars uniform with like the ridiculous shoulder pads. I just give me that. Just give me that. How hard is it to find shoulder pads in Hollywood?
I don't know. I know that they make bulletproof vests and blade carriers with them.
I know.
I've seen them.
I've also seen them, so I'm not sure why they can't just give me that. My other complaint is also the fact that we have once again the 1911 in another. Another. I'm like, why? Is there no other gun in the world?
I liked it 1911, but research the characters, damn it!
Just a little bit. At least get me close. It doesn't have to be perfect. Get me close. 1911 for everything. I bet you that.
Hey, the 1911 has the holy number of bullets, 7 or 8 if you include one in the chamber.
13 or up. 13 and up. Okay, moving on.
Hey, even my 9mm Glock doesn't have 13, but that's because it's concealable. Halo Infinite's not gonna have co-op at launch, which is sad.
I thought. Are they gonna patch it in to have co-op later on?
They're gonna patch it in.
Okay, because one of my favorite experiences playing Halo was playing co-op with friends. You know.
Yeah. Well, even Halo 5 didn't have on the couch co-op. You had to do online co-op.
Yeah, I mean that
which
was
pissed
annoying.
me off.
I miss split screens. You could have your friend in the room with you. It was nice.
Yes. Yeah, part of the fun is like having buddies over, drinking some beers and talking shit at each other.
Yeah.
And being able to having the possibility of throwing punches when you stab each other in the back.
Every once in a while, you're just like, okay, get in the war hug. Yeah. Vroom, you motherfucker. Just driving around him.
Or just intentionally drive off the cliff and take everybody with you.
It's even better at the end of, I think it was Halo 2, where you have to drive down that weird long hallway. You're like, you have to go and jump into the thing, right? Jump into the, swerve off, jump out. I made it, bitch. You killed me, you son of a bitch.
The best / worst thing is when you're on Halo 2 Legendary, it kicks you back all the way to the beginning of the freaking level.
Forgot about that. All right. So, do they have a time frame for when they are going to have that implemented?
It's going to be in the second season, whenever that is.
So probably 6
So
months.
whenever
after
they do,
release.
so whenever they do the first major release of it,
So about 6 months after release, 3 months after release.
probably 3 months.
Yeah.
Knowing
Three.
their cycle for Master Chief Collection when they decided that they were gonna put in Reach and re-update everything.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it won't be as bad as I thought. All right. Well, what else?
343 does have. They don't have a good 343 doesn't necessarily have a good reputation with making games, but they do have a good reputation of supporting games after they're made.
That's good at least.
Um, Project. They're doing a new Ace Combat game.
Which is great news. It's
Yes.
in development right now, so we probably won't see it for another year or two.
Or, yeah, you say longer because oh my god, it took forever for 7 to come out. Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. Oh, we're gonna wait for the new console. It's coming out.
We need to update everything for the new console. It was a good time. I loved it. I like the Ace Combat. Excuse me. I like the Ace Combat games. They're a lot of fun. I like the flight simulator aspect. I love battling in the air. I like the music. It's all a fun
the
game
music,
to make.
yes. I even like Assault Horizon. Although I do prefer the Strange Real games. Infinite or Infinity or whatever the free to play one is. Fuck that one.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It's like,
right.
Oh, we're in the real world, but here's all this Strange Real stuff. Oh, and you have to pay out the ass to get anything or advance in the game, even though we say we're free to play. Screw you, Bandai. Screw you and all your idle plane skins.
No, I'm not saying I bought any idle plane skins. I'm saying if they have any for this new one, I will probably buy.
I know, I bought a couple for Assault Horizon.
I was like, why is Miku on the side of your plane? You always put your woman on the side of your plane. What are you talking about? Especially when you're going for a bombing run.
So, Saints Row Reboot has some issues.
Some issues? Okay, so I am a huge Saints Row fan. I love the Saints Row series. I've played every game from 1 through 4, all of them completely. And when the first one came out, everyone kind of bitched and moaned because it didn't really have a good ending. And then 2 came out, and I'm like, oh, this is far better now than it was before. And then 2 didn't take it was not as serious because the first Saints Row game started off very, very serious. And then as you went along, it got less and less serious as you did. Especially when you got Zombie Lynn. That was
I did enjoy that this series got less and like I didn't play them a lot, but it's just like, oh, the new Saints Row came out. It's even more ridiculous. Like, yes, embrace the ridiculousness. Stop.
By the 4th game, it was literally Saints Row: The Matrix. I was running super speed through things, jumping through the air, shooting fireballs from my hand.
Embrace that you're the ridiculous GTA clown.
You could have sex with a giant floating ball security droid if you wanted. It was, but Saints Row was not. Generally speaking, the Saints Row games are not to be taken as serious. They're a lot of fun. They're enjoyable. They have a story that makes some linear sense, but not a lot. But it's just, generally speaking, amusing. And now we have this new Saints Row reboot coming out that Volition put through. Volition says it's going to be far more serious. This is not going to be as goofy. This is going to be a more serious game. It's about a group of young millennials fighting poverty or something. I don't even know. These are not gangsters.
I mean, they're not.
They're not. These are not gangsters, and they look like stereotypes of millennial people. And by millennial people, I mean 30-year-olds who still want to look cool.
Yeah.
It's very obnoxious. Generally speaking, very few Saints Row fans have responded well to this, and Saints and Volition's overall response has been to mock the fan base. And they said, "Hey, don't take yourself so very seriously. That's why we liked your games."
Yeah. Step one to make sure your franchise dies. Mock your fan base when they bitch.
I mean, is Volition wrong, or
What?
all the fans wrong? It's
I mean,
the
it's
fans. Volition says as they walk off. It's the fucking
yeah. Unless
Crystal
your bit is I'm one of you and I hate myself. See Hideaki Anno.
Yeah.
Don't mock your fans.
Yep, and there's lots of just bad quotes overall.
Yeah. Pretty much
Anyway.
every time I go onto Twitter, it's someone complaining about this game. And I'm just scrolling past it now because it's just like this is going to be a disaster.
Well, Boone explains that they want to change the tone of the past games because the past games have sexism and homophobia, and I'm like, 2007 about gangsters. There aren't a lot of gay gangsters.
It's a game about gangsters, man.
And
if you make a serious game about gangsters, you're just ripping off GTA.
Yeah, and I mean, nothing about this game is serious. You could literally make a chainsaw-powered dildo machine. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
That's what made those games great, because sometimes you just wanted, like, when GTA started, like, the GTA games are great, but sometimes they start to sniff their own asshole.
Yeah, they become a little too serious. It happens. Like, GTA 4 got a little too serious. GTA 5 had super serious moments. And it's just like, okay, I just did this really serious story. I'm going to go and just blow up shit like an hour.
Yeah, I stopped playing GTA 5 because it was just so serious, and I stopped caring about it until Miko started playing it again. And then that was the greatest thing ever.
Yep. That's kind of it. Generally speaking, Boone has said that they want to tell a different kind of story now. This is what they want to do, and hey, they are the current creator. Go nuts! But don't expect me to drop $70 for your new game, buddy. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Hey, make whatever you want. Just don't expect me to pay for it.
Yep. Next.
Horizon Forbidden West is delayed into February 18th.
Which is kind of upsetting. I honestly thought they were going to try to get Horizon finished in time for the Christmas season. So the fact that it was delayed past Christmas, shocking. But I think when a game is pushed past Christmas like that, it is either really desperately needs the update or it needs something else.
Or they think that we have a good game, but it's not going to do gangbusters in a crowded market. Let's push it back a little bit and polish it a little bit more, so it's even better when we release. And it's the only thing taking up air.
Yeah, I mean, what else is coming out this Christmas season? That's the
I
question.
know. I actually don't know. I know Halo is.
I know Halo is, and that's the only thing I can think of.
I think this season is a little light because no one has a new console yet.
No one has.
They don't have. No one. I only know of one person who has a PlayStation 5 in my personal
I also only know
circle.
people who have PlayStation 5 in my own circle. And yeah, it's difficult to get a next gen console, so that's not helping. There's lots of indie games coming out this year.
Yeah, tons of indie games. It's
Tons
great to
of
see.
indie games. It's great to see.
Next story.
Yeah, next one. Let's go with the next one. Uh, yeah,
Monster Rancher returns.
I'm so happy about this. I don't think anyone remembers Monster Rancher, but this was around the same time as Pokemon, but this was far more, I guess, Farmville-esque, because you would have to like set up upkeep and raise your monster. And you only had so much time to raise your monster a certain amount, or you had to retire it and try to make it have kids with another monster you had, so you could move on with the game. This game got really difficult really fast, just because you could sometimes not have a monster. You couldn't do tournaments very well, and you'd be just kind of stuck staring at it, going, "Now what? Now I'm out of money, and I can't rent any monsters." It's been 6 years.
So yeah, they're packaging 1 and 2 for Switch and PC.
I'm actually curious as to how they're going to package Monster Rancher games, because Monster Rancher games originally you could get free monsters by putting in a disc from like you from on your PS1. You would have an option to use a hidden disc, a hidden stone disc, and you hit that, and then it'd say, "Please put in another PlayStation game." You pop out the Monster Rancher game, put in a different game, it would read the data and give you a random new monster.
They say that they've reworked it in 1 and 2 DX. To search a database for their desired CD and generate a monster from its data.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, it probably won't be as exciting as like putting in the Limp Bizkit CD and going, "Oh smack! I got myself a dragon." Limp Bizkit.
The problem is there's no digital. I mean, there's no physical media anymore.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of upsetting. All right, what else do we got?
Bandai Namco denies Tales of Arise PlayStation censorship rumors.
Now I'm happy about this, but I also don't know if Tales of Arise would ever have gotten censored.
Yeah, it's like I don't think Tales is not a game that really gets censored.
No, I mean, closest you ever came with like female unmentionableness would have been Berseria.
Yeah, and now it's just Velvet's entire outfit.
Yeah, it's ripped up everything because she's a monster.
Yeah.
Kind of her thing. Um. Anyway, I've played the Tales of Arise demo. I believe you've heard me bitch and moan about the main healer girl's moveset.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's been most of our group chat when we're not bitching about the other things going on in the world.
The sandbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But generally speaking, the game itself plays much faster than any other Tales game I've ever played. So, like, I thought Tales of Berseria was very, very fast. This is so much faster. You can keep spamming moves nearly nonstop.
That's interesting.
It's very, and by moves I mean like special moves, like the special button presses.
Yeah.
It's got a weird input control where you use your trigger on the right to attack normally, and then your 3 top buttons are your buttons to use special moves. And then one of your other buttons is a jump button, which can change special move when you're in the air. The point is,
that's interesting.
It's an interesting game. I like the overall input. I didn't get much of the story out of playing it. I did get the gameplay though, and when you're playing a Tales game, the gameplay kind of matters.
Yeah.
Because the gameplay between Vesperia and Zestria and Berseria are completely different. And I cannot stand the gameplay of Zestria, but I really like the story, so I keep banging my head against it trying to beat it. I'm like, please be done with the game. But Tales games aren't necessarily going to be censored. They're pretty wholesome.
Generally, yeah.
I mean,
I don't think I remember a Tales game that had anything that needed to be censored.
the closest you ever came was probably the idol outfits from Berseria.
Probably.
Only I can possibly think of. And
or Velvet's entire outfit, but that's Velvet.
It's Velvet. Whatever. The number of times, like the little character box cutscene thing was just her naked and just like, what? And little boy be like, I'm like, oh, the little boy found out about puberty. Good for him. You know what cutscenes I'm talking about.
Yes. There's also a couple others where like it's Rokuro and Eisen or whatever his name is. Just complaining like just remember, kid, women are evil. I'm just like corrupting up you
so,
dog.
So you're telling me Tales of Berseria is where Mick McTell came from.
One of these days we're going to do a Berseria panel and it's going to get us banned from the con circuit.
Nah. From the polite con circuit, yes. From the evil con circuit, we'll be like fresh new faces.
There's an evil con circuit?
Yeah, it's the one that allows people who are banned to be there.
Oh, yeah.
You know which people.
I know. Yeah.
Moving on.
We're already fresh new faces there. Anyways,
like con circuits watching.
Bandai Namco producer Moto Herokubo is leaving after 25 years.
Yeah, this is interesting. First of all, the fact he's been with Bandai for 25 years is insane.
Yes.
I don't think. Who was Konami's favorite guy? Metal Gear Solid.
Kojima.
I don't think Kojima was with Konami for 25 years.
He might have been. He was there for a while. He was there through most of the Metal Gear Solid series, and
that's only 20 years worth of stuff. And then he was off by the time the last Metal Gear Solid game came out, which was not a Metal Gear Solid game. It was a zombie game, which made no sense. Anyway, he's super happy to have been with the overall company. He's especially happy with how Soul Calibur 6 came out. He's allowed to continue the ongoing success that Bandai Namco has had with both the Tekken series and the Soul Calibur series, and I'm very happy that a guy's like, listen, I'm done. I'm going to go and do personal projects and maybe do some indie games, but I'm good for right now, guys. And I go, you know what? Good for you, buddy.
It's great. Yeah, it's great to see someone leave on positive terms.
It's always good because there's usually speaking, people leave on negative terms.
See Kojima.
Or because of terrible inner company politics. See Blizzard.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, that's great news. He is apparently gonna go. I guess he's going to try some passion projects for a little while. And, good for him. He's probably got enough money saved up, enough stock in the company to just kind of do his own thing for a while. He has fuck you money. You know what? Fuck you. Have fun, buddy. Enjoy. Sad to see you go. Have a great time.
Definitely. Now, in let's just say hilarious news.
Hilarious news? See, I saw this and I laughed my head off. I mean, I could not stop laughing about it. I've never in my life watched a company screw up something so well, and
Like,
then Fortnite showed up. All right, so
so what happened is they're having an event for
Martin Luther
or
King and I think that the Million Man March. Is
yeah,
that
the
what this is
Million
about?
Man March. Which Fortnite does these things from time to time.
I mean, it's weird to have historical stuff like this going on in Fortnite. Normally, it's like we're going to change the entire map by blowing it up with a giant mech or something. It's usually
But they've
along
done
those lines.
they've done stuff for like oh, we're suing Apple. Here's why we're suing Apple. We're gonna make you watch a PowerPoint while you're sitting in the lobby.
What?
Yeah, when Epic and Apple got into that lawsuit, they made everyone watch a PowerPoint about it while they were sitting in the lobby before they got on the bus.
I. You know what? I'm happy I stopped playing Fortnite so early. Like
And
I was like, eh,
they've also done stuff for like they've also done stuff for like civil rights stuff before, and
yeah.
that's why they're banning emotes. Because last time they did it, people were upset that they were getting history shoved down their throat, and they started using throw the tomato emojis to throw tomatoes at the screen.
Which was hilarious, by the way. Hilarious. I could not stop laughing at the fact that they didn't think of like, oh, we have a vending machine here that lets you buy the tomato emoji. You dumbass.
So to try to prevent that, they disabled emotes for this event.
Except
Except they also released a DLC that lets. They also released a Catwoman DLC, and
because the,
they weren't able to disable any of the emotes associated with that DLC,
because of
which includes her
contractual
whip.
agreements, with DC Comics, and these emotes include the whip emote and various other kinds of spray painting, including a dumpster on fire. Which, if you scroll down on that article, it's like somewhere down there.
Oh,
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Right there. A dumpster on fire. I will never stop laughing at the hubris of mankind. You cannot force people to care about what you care about. You can't. It's not going to work. And if you annoy people, they're going to, generally speaking, make it into a joke and mock it.
yeah, even if it's something everybody can agree with, if you force it down the throat, people are going to rebel because fuck you.
Yeah, it's one of those things of I usually agree with most things people say until you force me to have to go and agree, and then I go, you know what, fuck you. That is usually how things go. So, Fortnite is a trash fire again.
Again.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a better Chinese-owned company.
Speaking of China, China restricts children from playing video games to only 3 hours a week, 1 hour on Friday and 1 hour on Saturday and Sunday.
The hilarity behind this is Fortnite's capital is going to go down so fast because of this.
Yeah.
All those Chinese hackers.
Pretty much. Oh, video games are destroying our society. We're only going to let kids play 1 hour on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Whoops.
One, this is going to make kids like, I want to play my video games.
It's going to make
and they're going to find, and this is also going to, the government's making me do, this is going to make them hate this could be the thing that causes the PRC to lose the mandate of heaven.
Probably. This is their CRT. That's my answer on this one. You've taken a generation of kids who have, generally speaking, played video games for probably hours at a time, and you've said that no, you can only play it for 1 hour on the weekend. You're you're gonna watch them freak the fuck out.
Yeah. Now it's only limited to online games, but still.
Oh, good, good. That means me, if I was Chinese, would have had no issues. I played mostly RPGs. Suck it.
Except most of those are banned because of Japan.
Damn you, China! How dare you remove the greatness of God?
So yeah, this is gonna backfire eventually.
Eventually, probably sooner than we think.
Speaking of China,
Oh yeah.
in sad news, the creator of the Yakuza series is reportedly in talks to join NetEase.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully
I'm
this,
not.
like, I wonder what's happened that he's in talks to leave Sega. Like that has me real worried.
Well, the Yakuza series is supposed to be splitting up into two different series now.
Yeah, there is
So
that.
maybe he's not happy with that direction, or maybe he's just maybe he feels like he's done with his creation and he wants to move on.
Yeah, Yakuza 7, even though it kind of started a new arc, kind of did put even though it kind of started a new thing, kind of did put a cherry on top for
Yeah, it
the
was
entire
kind of
series.
done, kind of done. And then the Yakuza Like a Dragon started a whole new way of playing the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying
because
I'm saying that Like a Dragon, even though it's a whole new way of playing the game and had these new characters, it put a good cherry on top to all the previous games.
Yep. So I have no clue on this one. I hoping he stays at least in Japan. I'm not sure if NetEase will give him the same amount of content control as he had with the Yakuza games. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. China's very good at giving you money and just going, "Hey, money."
Also, he's in trouble with the Chinese anyway.
Oh right,
Because of when Kirikoko graduated, he congratulated her on a good career, and that got the Yakuza games banned in China.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we had a story
covered
on 2
that.
months ago.
Yeah,
That's so long ago. Whatever. Moving on.
More China news and things that aren't surprising. This hilarious trash fire in hardware.
China seizes IP, relaunches as an independent company. What IP?
So here's what happened. ARM, the hardware company that designs the chips in all your cell phones and stuff. In order to do business in China, they had to create a Chinese subsidiary, right?
Right.
They chose, for lack of a better term, a fuckface to be their CEO. He started being such a crazed lunatic that they stopped transferring technology. Oh, we need this technology transferred so we can build chips in China. ARM said, no, you're screwing things up. In the meantime, he built up his own secret police inside of ARM China, right? That of security guys that were only loyal to him. So ARM
a mutiny.
So ARM called an emergency board meeting, and they voted his ass out of the board. Except Chinese business law says it doesn't matter what the board says. Whoever has the seal of the company is head of the company. Doesn't matter what the board says. And he still had the seal in his possession and wasn't giving it up. And the security guys were all loyal to him. So he went and started his own company with government approval. Used the seal to transfer all the ARM technology to this new company. Sued ARM China for wrongful termination.
Here's my question: Why is any company doing any business in China if we just watch this happen?
Don't know. And like it's like this isn't ARM isn't even an American company; they're a European company. It's like, what the shit?
That is one, impressive. Two, I am confused.
And meanwhile, like all of ARM's American partners and Nvidia, who I think Nvidia is technically a Taiwanese company, they're
I think
all
it's Taiwan. Yeah.
they're all watching this like they're they're all watching this like, what the shit? Especially Nvidia, because they're trying to merge with ARM.
Mm,
And it was like, what the hell is going on here?
what's going on here is bullshit.
Just reading it. It's also hilarious to go into the comments of some of these articles about it, because the paid PRC shows are out in full force and saying like, you don't understand how business is done in China. It's like, oh, we understand how you don't understand how business is done in Eastern countries. Like, we see how business is done in Taiwan and Japan. This shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You do this in Japan, you're going to jail for a very long time.
Yep. But again, this is China, and I do not know why we keep trying to do business in China. I don't get it. I will continue to say this is a bad idea. I don't mean that because of the political ramifications. I mean because they're allowed to do this.
Yeah. And the reason they're trying to deal it is it's a market with billions of people, and that needs money.
It doesn't. No. If you could lose the entirety of your IP over this, would you?
Well, ARM's latest IP they didn't transfer over, so that's not lost.
It's just all the older IP, which
it's all
is still IP, which is still being used.
Yeah.
Whatever. Moving on. What's our last bit of news?
Exploding PSUs.
Oh, right.
So this article doesn't cover the full story. So what happened was back when there were still graphics card shortages, which there still kind of are, but they're getting less and less, and prices are coming down finally. Newegg did this thing called the Newegg Shuffle, where you could when you bought, to make sure that you were a gamer and not a Bitcoin not a crypto miner, you had to buy another computer part with your GPU.
Right.
And it was always packaged for something, like it was always like, oh, here's a motherboard that we're trying to get rid of that you have to buy with this.
Right.
So one of the things that came up were these Gigabyte PSUs, which Gigabyte just started making power supplies, right? And these ones, I think it's the GP750GM and the GP850GM.
Right.
Immediately got negative reviews
because they were exploding.
Well, some of them were exploding, some of them were dead on arrival.
Awesome.
And
I love getting dead computer parts on arrival.
So, Gamers Nexus, who does really great hardware reviews, looked into this, and like they got like their hands in like 20 of these power supplies, and like a third of them blew up. 2 or 3 of them were dead on arrival. One of them they did a test on with like just an extended like average use test, and it killed their GPU. And it's like, we don't know if this is the power supply or the graphics card, but the motherboard, graphics card, and power supply were all Gigabyte, so it's still Gigabyte's problem.
Well,
and they were and so they tried working with Gigabyte. Gigabyte kind of told them to F off. So they released all this information. Like, it worked for months and months and months before they published, to try to like, okay, let's fix the problem before we report on this. If you don't have to report on it, that's great. We want our readers to be safe. That's most important. Gigabyte told them to F off. So they published their findings. Gigabyte puts out a press release saying, "Oh, it's not real world testing." It's like, and it's because of extended loads. And then they released this video where they blew up a power supply in 10 minutes.
Whoops.
And not even doing like simulating real world stuff, but blew it up in 10 minutes. And in doing so, they figured out why a lot of them are doing DOA. It's like, oh, all power supplies are tested. Well, they test them, but and it passes once, and then it blows up the second time you test it.
Oh.
Because a complete test, you got to test it twice, because you got to trip the overpower protection,
Yeah.
and then you got to make sure that it still works after you trip the
After you overpower, yeah.
And they tested it, tripped overpower, everything worked fine. They go to test it again to make sure everything still works, and it blows up.
So it sounds like,
and it blew up like it hurt my ears when I was watching the video.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good to know. So if you guys are in the market for building
PC gaming master race,
a new PC game, a new PC gaming desktop, I guess stay away from Gigabyte right now.
This slightly worries me because I have a Gigabyte motherboard in my rig.
Oh, you're probably fine. It depends on how old that motherboard is.
It's brand new, but it slightly worries me.
Mm.
The power supply doesn't worry me though, because it's even though it's an older power supply, it's a Corsair, top of the line Corsair, and it's based off Great Wall, so that they make good power supplies.
Hey, all right. Is that our last bit of news?
That's it.
We are done for pretty much the evening. We ended almost on time.
We started early and we still ended a minute late. That's how much news.
A minute early. There was tons of video game news this week, and it just kept coming. There was still more stuff I had to just cut. I'm like, it's not relevant, it doesn't matter, or it's so niche, no one will care.
Yeah.
There was tons of stuff to just cut off the overall list. I am behind on anime. I think we're on with the fourth episode of most animes, and I haven't watched any from this season so far.
Yeah, I was like, when are we doing the fall stuff? And then there's like, oh, we're behind.
We're behind.
Oops.
Oops. And I haven't had time to watch anything. Is my issue right now.
I've been watching stuff, but I've been watching old stuff for panels.
My issue too. I'm prepping for Colossal Chronic East, and I'm very excited for that. I cannot wait. It has been like the longest time without having a anime water park convention.
You could have gone to Colossal Prime with me.
I could not have gone to Colossal Prime with you because I'm still pretty sure I'm banned from Ohio. From the entire state. But I'm older now.
Soon Colossal Prime is going to be one of 2 cons I do a year. 3 cons I do a year, and that's going to be scary. You need to go to Colossal Prime next year.
I will make the effort. I can promise nothing because our summer gets packed up real fast from June to September. Just poop, poop. And it seems like we end up doing like 6 conventions in that 3 to 4 month period. It gets really backed up really fast.
I think I've done more cons this year, and most of them have been summer cons. All of them have been summer cons.
I have done about the same number, 1 or 2 less than normal. I normally am in the New Jersey area. We do like 2 or 3 summer cons in the New Jersey area. We're all in this general area, and not one New Jersey convention happened this year.
Yeah.
There's one in October, maybe it happens. We'll see what happens there. I haven't received anything from them about my panels, so I don't know if I'm going to be a panelist there. And if I'm not a panelist there, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to worry about it.
Man, I didn't go to two of my local cons just because I was so burnt out on cons.
Well, Anime Missouri was a lot of fun. I had a good time at Otakon, and I was still burned out.
Yeah, I was so burned out from Oda that it's like, you should go to what's the big Comic Con? That's also where Otakon is. I'm blanking on it, but that happened, and that happened as the same weekend as Katsucon Sci-Fi Convention.
Oh, the Station Unity.
Station, yeah, those happened pretty much. Those happened the same weekend, which it's like, oh, you should go to Station Unity, or you should go to the Comic Con. It's like, I'm burned out from Otakon. I'm done.
Yeah, like I needed a good week or two post Otakon just to live life, um, which
Yeah,
was necessary for a little while there, and
and it's
it got bad. But ClossCon East, I'm looking forward to this one. We're gonna have the full team for once, the first chance of having the full team, and we're splitting up into groups of 2 for most of the panels. So I will be good to just chill
nice.
for like after I finish my panel in the afternoon. I'm pretty much free the rest of Friday night, and I'm like, oh man, you know what I'm gonna do? Midnight swim. You know what I haven't done at ClossCon East?
Midnight Swim.
Yeah, I keep buying a wristband for it, thinking, oh, I'll go over there between panels. And no,
I might do Midnight Swim because I've got the Ava panel, but like I have 5 or 6 panels, but they're all spread out, so I can still enjoy comp.
I have 8 panels total, but like I said, there's 3 of us going. We're splitting up. I'm doing 1 panel Friday, 2 panels on Saturday, 1 panel on Sunday. So I'm doing 4 panels total. Is the current plan. It could change. It could change to me doing more panels. It could change to me doing less panels.
I think I did 8 or 9 at Colossal Prime.
But
I was only supposed to do 7.
Yep, I'm at 8 right now. I'm hoping 1 more pops in so I can get Tom a free ticket. So I'm like, okay, great, good, that's done. Good night. I'm gonna keep mentioning while I'm doing panels that we are looking for a female panelist to join the group. Like, I would like a female in the group. Be nice. Currently
to balance things out.
Well, there's already 3 big fat guys on the team. Doesn't help.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would like one girl, 1 female. Por favor. Even though we are one of the most diverse panelist groups. A white guy, a Jewish guy, a Puerto Rican, and a black guy walking into a panelist room. Oh, it's hentai cake.
Well,
that's where we are. I believe we are done. This has been the Geek-Posium. We hope to see you guys again next week, where hopefully not everything is video games.
Hopefully we've got a good smorgasbord next week.
All right. So good night, everybody.
Night.